Assalamu alaikum, teacher.
Okay, assalamu alaikum. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, teacher, we can hear you.
Okay, yes. Okay, let's start with chapter 10, which is basic geometry. Okay, but before we move on to this chapter, I want you to be clear on some key terms and vocabulary, right? So let's discuss a few definitions. Who will tell me what a point is? Okay, what is a point? And does point have any dimensions? Okay. Okay, point has only position. Okay, it has no shape or size. It is represented by either a dot or a cross. Okay, then the next important definition that you will need in this chapter is a line segment. What is a line segment? You don't have to tell me exactly. You don't have to tell me the exact definition, whatever you understand. Okay, but all these definitions, I think you should be familiar with them. They are here in your book. Okay, on page 233. I think they are useful. Okay, so line segment is a line that joins 2 points. Okay, we just discussed what a point was. Okay, you will just saying that, you know, it has only position. It doesn't have any other definition, but you should understand that it has no shape or size. Line, on the other hand, also does not have any shape or size, but it joins 2 points. Like, for example, this is a line segment, which is joining points A and B. Okay. Now, what is simple line? Simple line is different from line segment in the fact that it extends indefinitely on both the sides. It has no endpoints. Okay, it continues on both the directions. What does indefinitely mean?
That means it doesn't have an end.
It doesn't have an end, right? It goes on. Okay, it goes on continuously. Okay, it has no endpoints. Okay, so what's the difference between line segment and line?
Line segment have
Line segment has an end, and a line can keep going on.
Right, line segment has 2 endpoints and line keeps going on, right?
I mean, it can keep extending.
Right. Now, ray is different from line in two ways. It has only one endpoint and the other is extending. Okay, the other end extends indefinitely. So that's a ray. Remember, ray has an endpoint and extends indefinitely on the other end. I don't want you, or you are not required to ratify, to learn these definitions. No, but you should understand. And if anybody uses these terms, you should know what they're talking about, and you should know what exactly it means in mathematics. Okay, intersecting lines. Pair of lines that share one point in common. And that point that 2 lines share in common is called the point of intersection. For example, this is one line segment AB. This is another, I'm calling it line segment. Why? Because they have 2 endpoints. So these are line segments. So line segment AB is sharing a point Y with line segment CD, right? So they are intersecting. And it is not necessary that they divide each other into 2 equal halves. Like, for example, this line EF is also intersecting AB, okay? And the point of intersection between EF and AB is point X. Point X is the point of intersection. Okay, now tell me, are C, Y, D collinear? Points C, Y, D, are they collinear? What does collinear mean? Collinear mean on the same line.
yeah, they're on the same.
Yes, collinear. Co means sharing and line, sharing the same line, having the same line. Which points are collinear? C, Y, D. Are there any other points which are collinear?
Yeah, EXF.
E, X, F. Are there any more points which are collinear?
AYXB.
Yes, A, Y, X, B. Okay. And which points are not collinear? Okay, let me ask them. Which points are not collinear?
B and
B and yes?
E and F and C and D and A.
Yes, B and F are not on the same line. And which other did you say?
C and D.
C and D are on the same line. C
Oh,
and D
A
are
and
on,
D.
yes, A and D, yes, yes. A and D are not collinear. And then
A and D are not, B and E are not, F and D are not.
right. So you get the point, right? Okay, let's move on. Now, what's a plane? A plane is a flat surface on which 2 points are joined by a line, and that line stays on that flat surface. For example, this page surface, this is a plane. Okay, like for example, the surface of your wall is a plane. So if you make a line on your wall, well, don't do that. But I'm just saying that if you make a wall on your, if you make a line on your wall, the line will be joining 2 points on the same flat surface, which is the surface of the wall. So that's a plane. So we can have a horizontal plane, we can have a vertical plane. Yeah, plane, P-L-A-N-E. Plane is a flat surface, okay, on which there are 2 points joined by a line. Okay, and that whole line should stay on that one plane. So what is a horizontal plane and what is a vertical plane? Horizontal means?
It was like flat laying down.
Horizontal means? What is
Flat
horizontal and sorry?
Is horizontal flat planes?
Yeah, horizontal means parallel to the ground, you can say, and vertical is perpendicular to the ground. Okay, you can take ground as your reference, your ground. Okay, curved surface. Curved surface is a surface which does not have any point on any one plane. Like for example, a curved surface looks like this, right? So each point has its own plane. Each point has its own plane. Each point has its own plane. Okay. So did you understand? So on a curved surface, the points are not at the same plane. They're on one plane, you cannot have more than 1 point. Okay, all the points are in their own plane. They have their own plane. Okay, did you understand, Sidra? Okay, now a plane, did you understand curved surface?
Yes.
Okay, a plane has 2 dimensions. What are they? When we say 2D, 3D, we say 2D, 3D. What do we mean by this? D stands for
Dimensional.
Dimensions, right? And two dimensions. So
Yes.
what are they? I mean, just name the dimensions. For example, this plane. For example, this page that I'm writing on, this surface. What dimensions does this have? This plane surface. Come on, the 2 dimensions that you multiply when you calculate area. What are they? Length and breadth, right? When you calculate the area, what do? You are multiplying the length of the 2 dimensions. These are dimensions. This is breadth. This is length.
This is
right. So my screen, like this is length of my screen. This is the breadth of my screen, right? These are the 2 dimensions. You are looking at the screen. Screen is 2D. It has only length and, I mean, the real screen has thickness as well, but I'm talking about this, only the screen on which you're looking. Okay, and then 3D. So 3D, that means 1 more dimension. What is that 1 more dimension? Width. That is this thickness. You can call it thickness, width. right? Okay, so that becomes 3D. Do you understand? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, we have done this. What are the dimensions of a point or a line? Sidra, what are the dimensions of a point or a line?
They don't have ones.
Yes, very good. They don't have any dimensions. We just did this. They have no size, no shape, and therefore no dimensions. Okay. Angle. Let's move on to angle. What is an angle? How do we define it? When two rays, they can be called rays or line segments. They can be anything when two lines intersect each other, or you can say they share a common point. Again, same thing, intersecting lines, they share a common point. So same thing, if you extend them, they are intersecting. If you extend them, they are intersecting each other, right? So they are sharing a common point with each other. This common point or the point of intersection of these two segments is called the vertex. This is called the vertex of the angle, okay? And these two segments are like the two arms of the angle or the two sides of the angle. And the space between these two arms is called the angle, which you need to measure. Okay? Okay, what are the different ways? What are the different ways of labeling angles? So there are different ways of labeling angles. AOB, BOA, but make sure the vertex is always in the middle. Make sure the vertex point O, for example, my vertex was labeled O. So O should be in the middle. If, for example, this was ACB, if, for example, this was ACB, then I would label it as, you guys tell me, ACB
Or BCA.
or BCA. And what other way? Then there are different ways of writing the symbol. Either you can put a triangular cap on the vertex, okay, or you write the put an angle symbol before the labeling, or you can just put the symbol and use the label of the vertex. That's it. Or you just label the vertex. These are different ways of labeling angle, and all of them are correct. Okay.
Okay.
Now, in total, we have 360 degrees around a point. Like we have divided the space around the point into 360 parts.
Yes.
Okay, a circular protractor shows all those 360 parts. Okay, so around the point, all these, the space around the point is divided into 360 parts. 350 nahi hai beta, 360 hai.
Yeah, but over here and this.
Yeah, they did not write 360 because then it would overlap 0. That's why. Okay, protractor, this is called a protractor. Is the instrument to measure angles, and the unit is just a small circle on the top right corner. That symbol, it represents degree. Okay. Now, how to measure an angle? Okay, we will discuss that a little bit. Let's see. Can you get me a ruler? Can you get me a ruler?
Teacher,
Yes.
it seems like that your mic is like covered again and again, so like your voice keeps going and then it keeps coming back again.
Oh, okay. Let me position my laptop a little better. Is my voice better now?
Yes, it's better.
Okay, alhamdulillah. Let's see. Let me make an angle and let me introduce you. You guys must be already familiar with the method of measuring the angles, right? Okay. But let's do it again. Now, I personally, there are different types of protractors, okay? But personally, I Some students get confused by these circular protractors. If you're one of them, then okay, don't use, okay, it doesn't matter. This protractor is good enough. And also make sure the protractor has this line. When you buy a protractor, it should have this line, this line. I don't like the protractors which don't have these lines and these lines as well. Look at this. I don't like this one. It has no lines. Okay, so then, you know, how will I
You know what they expect you to do to make lines yourself?
make lines yourself? Yeah, okay. Yeah, just they expect you to keep your baseline on 0. But anyway, this is more convenient for me, okay? And also the numbers are too far. I don't like this one. Okay, so this helps me, like where you have this intersection, between this perpendicular line and this is called the baseline. Okay, this is representing 0 on one end, on one side, and 180 on the other side. Now there are 2 scales in a protractor. Let me keep this so that you can see it against it. There are 2 scales in a protractor. This is called the inner scale. Okay, and this is the outer scale. Now they will have their zeros and 180. They will have their zeros on the opposite sides. For example, the inner scale has 0 on the right hand side here in my protractor, and the outer scale has 0 on the left hand side. Why have they done that? Because sometimes the angle is facing this way, and other times the angle might be this way, or the angle even might be this way. So for that, for your convenience, they have shown you zeros on both the sides. So the first thing that you have to do is that this point, this intersection should sit on the vertex of the angle. This intersecting point should sit exactly on the vertex of the angle. Vertex is the point of intersection of your 2 segments, which are forming the arms of the angle, right? And one of the arms should sit on the 0 line. This is very important. So the vertex should sit on this point of intersection, and one of the arms should sit on one of the 0 lines. Now you can use either of the 2 scales. You will have to choose depending upon which arm you are choosing as your starting point, or you can say which arm are you starting counting from. So first you choose that arm, and that arm should sit on the 0 of the protractor. Like for example, if I am trying to measure this angle, now I will choose this as my baseline, or you can say I want to start counting from here. I want to go this way. Okay, A, O, B. So now I will make sure that the vertex of the angle sits on the point of intersection. And the second thing I have to make sure is that this arm is exactly at 0. This arm of the angle is exactly at 0. Now, remember, some of the students get confused. They have chosen this 0, but then they will count the outer scale and they get the wrong readings. Remember, use the scale on the 0 of which your arm is sitting. Did you get my point? Like, for example, in this case, my starting line, my starting arm is sitting on the inner scale 0. So I will now count using the inner scale, not the outer scale. So my reading would be, what is the reading, Sidra, here? Can you read it for me? Let me zoom in. Admit, Sidra.
$45.
Okay,
No,
no,
is it 38 or 39?
Can you see it clearly?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, did you double check if the vertex is exactly on the meeting point on the protractor and that one of the arms is exactly on 0.
45. or
Okay, so we will start counting from here. So 10, 20, 30, 35 is here, and 36. 36. Did you see how I counted? Did you see? Okay, I'm gonna measure again. 10, 20, 30. This is 30. Okay, and I'm using the inner scale. Why? Because one of the arms, which is sitting on 0, is sitting on the 0 of the inner scale. So therefore, inner scale, 10, 20, 30, 35, and then one more, 36. Right? Let's do a few more. Let's make an obtuse angle. Okay, what is an, there are different types of angles.
Can I tell?
Yes, please tell. Yes, what are the different types of angles?
So first there's an acute angle, which is in between of 0 and 9 degrees.
9?
90, sorry, 90.
Yes, very good.
And then there's a right angle, which is exactly 90.
Yes, very
And
good.
then we have an obtuse angle, which is between 90 and 180.
Very good.
And then we have a reflex angle, which is between 180 and 360.
Very good job. And then there is a straight angle, which is a straight line, right? Yes. Yes. Okay, very good. Okay, let's see. Now look at, so what type of angle is this? Is this acute or is this any other type of angle? Is it obtuse?
It's an acute.
Acute. It's an acute.
It's acute angle, right? So I think that is easy. You guys have done it in grade 5 as well, I think.
Yes, we have.
Okay, okay. So now this angle is facing this way. And you know what? It is not necessary. I mean, for your level, yes, you should choose the straight side, the straight arm as your baseline. Okay, you should use the straight line as your baseline, but it is not necessary. You can even if you keep this as your base, even if you keep this as your base, I'm not trying to confuse you, but I'm just telling you. But then again, you will then use the inner scale. Okay, you got my point? So remember, the scale at the 0 of which your baseline sits, that scale is what you should follow. Okay, now I'm going to do it the easy way, I mean the straightforward way. So again, I will make sure the vertex of the angle sits on that point of intersection, and this AB, line AB, sits on exactly 0. And then let's read this. 37.
It's 30. It's 137.
137. 47. ये 137 किसने बोला है?
Oh wait. Is it 134?
Okay, now you said this is acute, right? Did you say acute? So it should be less than 90, right?
Oh, okay. Also, I was looking at the wrong scale.
Yeah, so students do that. So, okay, that's why I changed its direction. Yes. Okay, so now which scale 0 is sitting on my baseline? This outer scale 0, right?
Yes. Outer scale.
Yes, the outer scale 0 is sitting on my baseline. So I will be following the outer scale, and also make sure your protractor sits good and it is in contact with the paper. Okay, it should not be sliding. Okay, and it should not be, like pressed on one side and not the other side, then you get all the wrong reading. So keep it straight, keep your page straight as much as is possible. And then, so let's count 10, 20, 30, 40, 45, and then
it's 53.
46. 47. Yeah, 46 or 47 ke beech mein hai. So we can say 46.5. Yeah, let me zoom in. I think नहीं एक मिनट oh, टेढ़ा कर दिया.
It's probably, yeah.
Zoom in.
Yeah,
It's 47, you know.
I zoomed it to the maximum. It comes in.
Yeah, okay. This is maximum zooming in.
You can
Okay. No, no, it's okay. It's okay. Leave it. So this is 45, 46, 47. Can you see it? So 10, 20, 30, 40, 45, 46, 47. Count from this 0. Go in a sequence. Okay. 45, 46, 47. You said 53. Why did you say 53? Because I know why you said 53. I know. You saw 50 and then you started counting 51, 52, 53, right? Yeah. So students make these kind of mistakes. I know that. I also used to make when I was a student. So make sure, be careful regarding the 0. Okay, that's why they gave you these two scales. So it's confusing sometimes. So this is because you know, sometimes the angle is facing the left hand side and at other times the angle is facing the right hand side. So when it is facing the right hand side, use the right 0. When it's facing the left hand side, use the left 0. Okay. Okay, let's do another example so that you guys feel confident and practice at home. Draw and then measure. Yeah, what type of angle is this?
Obtuse angle.
Obtuse. Okay, now let's measure A, B, C. Okay, now I will make this my baseline. Okay, the vertex should sit on this point of intersection and 0 should sit on one of the arms. And I'm choosing AB as my starting line. Let's see now. Okay, who wants to measure? Who wants to measure? Please mute yourself, please. Yes, I'm trying very hard to keep the protractor on in contact with the paper.
135.
Okay, come on.
135.
135. Good job, right?
Yes.
Because I have to, because my 0, my one of the arms is sitting on this 0, so I will use this scale. 10,
Yes.
20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 20, 120, 130, 135.
5.
Okay, so 135. Okay, if anybody asks you to measure this, then how will you measure? Then how will you measure? Please mute yourself. Please mute yourself, especially when you have TV on. Okay, so again, we will have to choose one of these arms as our starting line or as our baseline. So now this is hard because even if we choose this as our baseline, we cannot reach till this line, okay? Or if we use this as our baseline, we cannot reach. Yeah, sorry. Even if I do, my protractor gratings or lines cannot reach this line. So therefore, the circular or, yeah, the circular protractor comes in. Where did the circular protractor go? Yes. The circular protractor comes in. And so again, I will have to choose now, which is my starting point. And again, it has this intersection. Can you see the intersection? The point of intersection should sit on the vertex of the angle, right?
Yes.
Yes, so this point of intersection should sit on my vertex, okay? And then one of the lines, I'm choosing this as my counting line and my starting line, and it is exactly at 0. Okay, it's blurred out, yeah. Okay. Now, if this is my 0, then my counting should start from here. So I will use the outer scale, not this 351, this one. 10, 20, 30, 40, So outer scale. So let me see.
You can just use the arrows as lines wherever you need.
10, 20, 60, 70, 40, 50, 70, 80, 190, 200, 210, 220, 225,
25.
225, right? So this should be 225. Now, again, in this as well, you can get confused because, you know, now whether you use the inner scale or the outer scale, both of them are greater than 100 or greater. So this can be confusing. So remember, stick to the scale which is giving you the starting point for counting. Okay, on the 0 of which your starting line sits. Okay, so I hope you got the point, right? How to measure angles. Is there any question? Is there any confusion?
No.
No, miss.
No.
Okay, good. So there are different types of angles. We have already discussed that. And so I think you already know that. Okay, what's a reflex angle?
Angles between 180 and 360.
Right. What are perpendicular lines? That's easy. Perpendicular lines are
Lines that
intersecting.
intersect or meet each other.
Are intersecting lines.
that's it. Intersecting lines. Is that it? You want to add something?
That form an angle.
Sidra, you want to add?
That intersect at 90 degrees.
Zor se bolo beta.
And make a 90 degree.
Yes, they intersect, but they intersect at 90 degrees. This symbol represents 90 degrees. Mute everybody. Mute everybody. Okay. Mute off. Do you know that when I teach grade 9 and 8 students, I don't need to mute them at all. They behave so good, so well. Grade 6 is the only grade that I need to mute. I think you guys need to grow up. But anyway, inshallah, you'll grow up. So, okay, perpendicular lines are lines that are intersecting each other at an angle of 90 degrees. Okay, that's perpendicular lines. Complementary lines are, raise your hands, I'll unmute you. What are complementary angles? Who wants to answer complementary angles? Yes, Uswa. Yes.
Complementary angles are the angles which add up to 90 degrees.
Very good job. Supplementary, do you know supplementary?
No.
That add up to 180 degrees,
Okay.
right? Yes. For example, let me give you an example. The angle between this PQ and RS is 90. Sorry, the angle between PQ and RS is 90, right? So this also must be 90 because straight line, on a straight line, we remember the space around a point was divided into 360, right? The space around the point is divided into 360 degrees. What is half of 360? What is the half of 360? If we divide 360 by 2, what do we get? 2 ones are 2, 8 is 16, 0, 180. So if we divide 360 into 2 equal halves, we have 180 degrees at the top and 180 degrees at the bottom, right? So that means a straight line, the degrees on the straight line add up to 180 degrees. So we can say that angle PWS is supplementary to angle PWR. Or you can say angle PWS and PWR are supplementary. Supplementary meaning adding up to 180 degrees. Okay, or if you divide this into 2, if you divide this angle RWQ into 2, this is A and this is B, then angle A and angle B are complementary. They are complementary. Why? Because they are adding up to 90 degrees. Together, they will give you 90 degrees. Right? But remember, these terms are only used for pairs of angles. Complementary and supplementary is only for pairs of angles, meaning you cannot have 3 angles. You cannot use these words for 3 angles or 4 angles, even if they are adding up to 90 or 180. Okay, these terms are only for pairs of angles. Now, adjacent angles. What do you understand by adjacent angles? What are adjacent angles on a straight line? Adjacent angles, especially the ones that are on a straight line, on the same straight line, are the ones that share the same vertex. For example, angle AOC, and angle BOC are adjacent. They are adjacent. I'm using ADG for adjacent. Why? Because they have the same vertex, they are sharing the same vertex, and they are also sharing one of the arms. OC is an arm of angle A as well as an arm of COB. And they lie on opposite sides of the common side. They lie on the opposite sides of the common side. So they are adjacent. Are these 2 angles adjacent? Looking at these properties of adjacent angles, do you think angle A and B adjacent? Yes, Uswa? They are adjacent? Are
Yes.
Are they sharing? They are sharing the same vertex, okay, but are they sharing this an arm?
No.
Are they sharing an arm? No, they are not sharing an arm. So they are,
Oh, okay. They're
yeah,
not adjacent.
yeah, they are not adjacent because they are not sharing an arm. For example, let me label this W, X, Y, Z, T, for example. So can you see angle B has arms YX and ZX, and angle B has arms WX and TX. So they are not sharing the same common side. Okay, what about these 2 angles? Are they adjacent? So they are sharing the same vertex, but are they sharing the same arm? Yes, this arm is the same. Yes, this arm is the same. O, A, B, C. Let me label them. So OA arm is common to both these angles, but are they lying on the opposite side of the common side? Are they lying on the opposite sides of the common arm? No, they are on the same side of the common arm. See, they have to be on the opposite sides of the common arm. They have to fulfill all these 3 conditions. The angles have to fulfill all these 3 conditions to be called adjacent angles. So because they are on the same, so this is the common arm, right? This is the arm they are sharing with each other, but the angles are on the same side of the common arm. So they are also not adjacent. Okay, these are examples of angles which are not adjacent. These are adjacent only. Okay. Are these adjacent? X, Y, and Z? Yes, Uswa. Yes or no with the reason. Yes, Javeria, you want to tell? I want others to participate. Yes, Javeria, do you think these angles are? Yeah, there are 2 Javeria Fatmas. Okay, are these adjacent? Sidra, you? Okay, let Uswa answer. Uswa raised her hand. Okay. Yes, Uswa?
They are not adjacent because they are not sharing the same line.
Yes, they are not sharing the, yeah, because there are more than 3. Okay, there are more than 3. Yes. is a straight line. Angle AOC and BOC are adjacent angles, and is a straight line or adjacent angles. No, 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 they are adjacent. These are adjacent. Look at this. Yes, because they are sharing. I want to show this picture in the book. Page 238. Page 238. This is page 238 if you have the book. So they have the same vertex. Okay. This arm is being shared by these two, and they are on the opposite side of the shared side of the common arm. They're on the opposite side of the common arm. This, but yes, there are 3 in number. That's the difference. But again, angle X and angle Y are sharing this arm, OX, and they are on the opposite side of the common arm. So the following, so these angle X, angle Y, and angle C are adjacent angles. Okay. These two examples, the following shows some examples of angles on a straight line which are not adjacent. So these are examples of adjacent angles, and these are examples of not adjacent angles. Adjacent, they are not adjacent. Okay. Now let's discuss vertically opposite angles. Vertically opposite angles. What are vertically opposite angles? Can anybody tell us real quick?
Like they're on the opposite side.
They are on the opposite sides of
The main,
the main line.
like the horizontal.
See, for angles to be vertically opposite, you need 2 straight lines. 2 straight lines. That's important. For example, this is straight line, and this is straight line. It's very important to have 2 straight lines, and then the angles which are opposite to each other, they are called vertically opposite lines. Are these vertically opposite? Yep. Tell me.
Yeah,
They are. Are the is this looking straight to you?
no, I thought it was
Yeah, be careful. Be careful. This is not a straight line. If these 2 lines are not straight, the crossing intersecting lines, if they are not straight, then the angles are not vertically opposite. They cannot be equal to each other. Okay. Also, I made this line a little tilted. So the best way of verifying if the line is straight or not, keep a ruler on it. Keep a ruler on it and see. So yeah, my line is crooked, but even if it was a straight, so this, for example, is a straight line, but this is going down at an angle. So this is not straight line. Okay, so these cannot be equal. Okay, look at this. This is one straight line, but then this line is not straight. Even if it is slightly, look at this. Can you see this line is coming out? This is not on one straight line. So it is straight till here, but then here it is bent a little. This bend will make these angles unequal. So remember, for angles to be vertically opposite to each other and to be equal to each other, both the lines should be straight like this. Okay, then this A will be equal to B, vertically opposite and equal to B. And this W will be vertically opposite and equal to this Y, angle Y. Okay. Okay, that's that. Now let's start solving questions. Question number 1 is not included. Question number 2 is classifications, very easy peasy. Right? I think you guys know this.
I have to tell which one is acute.
Yeah. Classify each of the following as an acute, obtuse, or reflex angle. Okay, okay. But I want other people also to participate. Afifa, Anas. Okay, Anas.
Yes, teacher.
Okay. Yes, okay. Can you classify?
Yes, teacher. The first one is 124.
24. This
120
one, this
the
one.
other Yes, he did. 124.
And he's correct.
You have to classify as acute. You measured it.
No, he is choosing.
Yes.
Oh,
Teacher,
you
this
have
is
to choose.
Yeah,
No, you don't have to choose.
you have to say this is an obtuse angle.
Beta, read the question. Classify each of the following as an acute, obtuse, or reflex angle. You have to just mention if it is acute, obtuse, or reflex.
Teacher, first one is obtuse,
Very good.
and the
What is
second
this,
one
by
is
the way?
reflex,
Reflex. This,
acute.
very good. 181.
181 is the B.
Sorry?
Teacher, what we have to do in this one? 181 is
Beta, this is the same question. Same A, B, C, D, E, F. The parts of the same. So here they
Okay.
drew for you. Okay, pay attention to the question. Read it 3 times, 4 times. Read it until and unless you're confident. Okay, 181. So it is greater than 180. It is greater
Yes.
than 180. So angles which are greater than 180 are called?
reflex angle.
Very good. So this is a reflex angle. Okay, 89.
Teacher, this is acute.
Acute because it is less than 90, though it is only 1 degree less than 90, but it's still less than 90. So it falls into the definition of acute, and this, though is only 1 degree greater than a straight angle, but it is still falls into the definition of reflex angle. What about 182, 124?
Teacher, it is obtuse.
Obtuse, right. So it is greater than 90, but less than 180. Very good. Okay. Find the complementary angle of each of the following angles. So complementary means
90.
adding up to 90, right? So now what should be our method of finding? So they are asking what should be, they're asking what should be the angle that when gets added to this angle 18 gives us 90. Is that what they're asking? So find a complementary angle. Find the complementary angle of each of the following angles, meaning that what angle should be added to this angle that should give you 90. So how will you calculate this? Yeah, okay, even if you want to answer. Okay, Umar Mohsen. Yes, Umar Mohsen.
Yes, teacher.
Yes, beta.
Teacher, I know what to do. In this equation, we will now take 18 to the other side of the equation, but this time we will do minus 18. Now
Right.
90. Now 90 minus 18. First we will take. We will cancel 9. We will make it 8, and so 8 minus 1 is 7, and it will become 72. So the answer
Right.
is 72 degrees.
Right. Okay. So now with all of them, you have to do the same thing. You will have to, you just subtract from 90 and the answer that you get that, for example, let's do part B. Now, what angle should be added? This is was part A, and now this is part B. What angle should be added to 46 to give you 90? Right? So again, same thing, exactly same thing. 90 minus 46, and so 90 minus 46 would be 10 minus 6, 4, 8 minus 4, 4, 44. So just subtract them from 90, okay? Subtract them from 90. Are you guys with me? Did you understand?
Yes,
Is
sure.
there any-
We are with you. We are with you. I understand.
Okay, good. Okay, let's do question number 4. Find the supplementary angle of each of the following angles. Same method, but now they should add up to 180, right? Okay, who can do? Let me. Okay, I want new participants. Come on. Okay, Anas. Or maybe Uswa. Oh, Javaria. Okay, let me, because I did not give a chance to Javeria, so let me give chance to Javeria.
Okay.
Okay, tell me how to do part A. Question number 4, part A. Find the supplementary angles of each of the following. Supplement.
So I think it would be x plus 36.
Very good. Is equal to, they should add up to supplementary, right? Supplementary meaning adding up to
180.
180, right? 180. So now it's easy, right?
Yes.
So X would be
180 minus 36.
right. And so that is 180 minus 36 is 10 minus 6, 4. 7 minus 3 is 4 and 1. So 144. Right? Okay.
Yes.
So you will do the same with all of them. You will subtract them from 180. Just like you were subtracting these from 90, you will be subtracting these from 180. Okay, same thing. You want me to do all the parts or should we move on to the more complex questions?
We should move on.
Okay. Yes. Question number 5. Given that AOB is a straight line, find the value of the unknown in each of the following figures. I think this chapter is real easy, isn't it? What do you guys say? We cannot zoom any more. Oh, okay, no, that's fine. Given that AOB is a straight line, find the value of the unknown in each of the following. So all these AOBs, this is AOB, 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 AOB. All of these are straight lines, okay? The angles, the sum of angles on a straight line is equal to 180, right? So that's easy then.
So 180 minus
Question number 5, part A.
180 minus 33.
So the sum of 33 plus A should be 180, right? So our equation would be, so it's something like this. It's something like this, 33 degrees, and this is A. So you have to find what A is. So I know that the sum of angles on a straight line, if this is a straight line, I know that the sum of the angles on a straight line is 180. So 33 plus A is equal to 180. And so the value of A would be
180 minus 30.
this 33 will shift on the other side. And it was positive, it was getting added, it will get subtracted. So 180 minus 33. 10 minus 3 is 7. 7 minus 3 is 4. 147. Okay. Let's move on to part B. Okay, Javeria, now you tell me. You have the book, right?
Yes.
Okay, this is the question. AOB, this is one straight line. Okay, we have these 3 angles on the straight line. So now what should be the sum of all the angles should be 180. So now what should be the equation?
It should be 42 plus 73 plus B equals to 180.
Very good. Okay, so you'll have to add these up first.
Yes.
So what answer do you get?
115.
Right, 115 plus B is equal to 180.
And we will
Okay.
switch to the right side. It would be 180 minus 115.
Right.
The 180 minus 115 would be 5, 6.
65. Right? Okay. Now somebody else should get a chance. Okay, Uswa. Okay.
Yes.
Yes, part C.
Okay, so part C is gonna be 4 plus 80
Okay,
plus C.
so, okay, let's see. Now, this is a whole point. Okay, also another thing, you should not have more than one variable in an equation. You should not have more than one unknown in one equation. You cannot have, like if you have more than one unknowns, then you will need more equations.
Already on
You
question
cannot
number
solve it with just one equation, right? So are we sure that we have only one unknown? Yes, there is only one unknown, which is this angle A. The rest are all, sorry, I'm discussing this. Which question is this? Oh, sorry.
Question 5. We're doing question 5.
Yes, we're question number 5, right? Okay. So yes, we should have only one unknown, okay, in one equation. So okay, we have a straight line. 4 C and C. So C is the same variable. What I'm saying is that you should have only one variable. Okay, so what's the
Okay.
equation, Oswa? So what's the equation?
The equation is 4 plus 80.
4 plus 80 or 4C plus 80?
So for 4C plus 80
Right, 4C plus 80 plus
C,
right, is equal to?
is equal to
This is a straight line,
84.
right? This is a
Yes.
straight line, so all these angles should add up to 180. So all these angles should add up to 180. So now,
Okay. So 4 plus 80 is 84C.
no, beta. Beta, you will only add the ones with the same variable. Yeah, so see 80 does not have any variable with it. But 4C, you know the variable, right? Like this is the variable, the value of which we
Yes.
have to find, unknown. So this does not have any C, but this does have. We cannot add them together. We can multiply them. You can multiply different variables. You can multiply or divide different variables, but you cannot add or subtract the same variables, okay? Same variable, yeah, okay, let me write it down like this. Addition and subtraction, you need same variables. You need same variables for addition, subtraction. But for multiplication and division, this is not a compulsion. Whether they are same or different, you can multiply them. Okay, it is not necessary to have same variables. But for addition and subtraction, variables should be same. Remember this. You cannot add 4 and 80. So C and C. So when you do not have a coefficient is the number which is written with the variable. That's called a coefficient. So
Okay.
coefficient. This is the spelling. So when you do not have a coefficient, that means you have 1. The coefficient is 1, because when the coefficient is 1, we don't write it. It's not necessary to write. It's understood. So 4C, 1C. Now they have the same variable, so I can add them. So 4 plus
Yes.
1 is
5.
5, and then C. I will write the variable as well. Okay, Uswa? So,
yes, I got it.
So when the variable is the same, you add the coefficients together and you write the sum of the coefficients. Sum is the answer to addition, and then you write the variable. Okay, plus,
Okay.
and this is, so this is left, so 80. Now you tell me, is equal
85.
to 180. Okay, Uswa, why did you say 85? Did you add them again? Yeah, please make sure. If you'll make this mistake, you're gonna get wrong answer, okay? So you cannot add them because this has a variable, this does not have a variable. Okay, Uswa?
Yes.
Okay, now tell me what should be my next step.
5C minus 180.
Okay, see, Now, when you have a variable and you want to find its value, what you should do is you should isolate it. What does isolate mean? Uswa, what does isolate mean?
We don't use it anymore.
No. Beta, isolate means to make it alone, remove everything else. Make it alone, remove everything else. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. And also remember, anything that is getting added is like a friend. Anything that is getting, like for example, you can say 80 is a friend of 5C. But anything, any two things which are getting multiplied, they are like family members. You cannot separate them. Wherever they'll go together. Separating them is harder and is done later.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So you will remove this first. Okay. That's why we have this mnemonic, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So we divide and multiply first, and we add and subtract later. And when we are removing, we remove the add and subtract first and divide and multiply at the end. Removal. Okay. So now I want to get rid of this. So I will move this on the other side of the equation.
Okay.
And then it will become what?
5C is equal to 180 minus 80.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So I'm trying to isolate this. And so first I will get rid of this. How? I will move it to the other side of the equation. It was getting added, then it will get subtracted. I have to reverse the operation. Okay, the operation. What is an operation? These are all operations.
Yes.
Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Okay, so 180 minus 80 is what?
100.
100. 100. Now I can separate.
Now you're gonna write C is equal to 100
yes.
Minus 5.
Minus
5.
Beta, is it getting added here to C? What is it getting?
Multiplied.
Multiplied. So you have to reverse the operation. See, the reverse of addition is subtraction. The reverse of multiplication is?
Also, it's 100 divided by 5?
Yes.
Ah, okay.
So when the number is getting multiplied, you reverse the operation, right? So it's getting multiplied here. And so here it will be division.
Okay. So 100 divided by 5 is equal to 20.
You know what, Uswa?
Yes.
I want you to look at it this way. If you're getting confused, I want you to look at it this way. Now I want to get rid of this, right? So what I do is plus 80. How can I get rid of this? By subtracting 80. By subtracting 80. So I can, if I'm doing anything on one side of the equation, I have to do the same thing on the other side of the equation. Minus 80. So plus 80 minus 80, gone, right?
Yes.
So 5C is equal to 180 minus 80 is 100. Now how to get rid of this 5?
How can since 5 and C are multiplied, so the opposite of multiplication is division. So it's 100 divided by 5.
I can get rid of 5 by dividing by 5. 5 and 5 cancel. So C is
20.
20. Okay. 20 degree. That's the unit. Okay. Don't forget this.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay. Yes, I know we are out of time, but I want to finish this particular question. Now,
okay.
Part D. Part D. Okay, let me ask. Okay, Umahil Chaudhary. Umahil. Omahil. Beta, don't do this. Come on. Okay, Anas.
Yes, teacher.
Yes. Can you please solve this with me? Part
Yes,
D,
teacher.
question number 5.
Okay.
Okay. So what's the equation?
Teacher, 4D plus 16 plus 2D plus 14
Yes, is equal to?
equals to 180.
Very good. Why?
Because teacher, the sum of these all is 180.
Yes. Okay, you know what? Let me do it this way. Because 4D plus 16 plus 2D plus 14 ये तो कैमरे से बाहर जा रहा नहीं yeah, okay, plus 14 is equal to 180. So 4D plus 16 plus 2D plus 14 is equal to 180. This is fine. Okay, what should be my next step?
Teacher, you should plus 4D with 2D and 16 plus 14.
Okay, so
And
tell me my next step. So 4D.
You say add 4D.
Okay, so tell me 4D plus 2D is
6D.
6D plus. Now let's add.
Teacher, the answer is 30.
Yes, 16 plus 14. 6 plus 4 is 10. So 1, 2, 3, 30. Okay, 30. Can I have an eraser? Eraser. No. Is equal to 180. Okay, now what should be my next step?
Teacher, next should be 6D equals 180 divided by 30.
Okay, divided by 30. Beta, you guys need practice with algebraic expressions. You need practice with algebra. You know, the problem is not geometry.
Teacher, sorry, we will subtract on the other side. We will take 30 to the other side and we will subtract.
See, we want to get rid of 30, right?
Yes.
So I will do it this way. Okay. Plus 30 minus 30 cancel. 6D is equal to 180 minus 30 is?
Teacher, the answer is 150.
180 minus 30 is 150. 150, right?
Now
So D would be?
150.
Now how to get rid of 6, which is?
Teacher, now we will divide 6 on the other side.
Right, 6 and 6.
Yes.
Now let's cancel this. 3 2s are 6. 3 5s are 15, 0.
50.
Right, any number with the 0 as the last digit is divisible by 2, right? So 2 1s are 2, 2 2s are 4, 2 5s are 10, right? So D is equal to 25. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So, okay, we have done till question number 5. Okay, we are running out of time. So let me complete this in the next class. And you guys go ahead and practice, okay? From practice now, especially this exercise 10A. Okay, question number 7 is also easy, but I feel that the problem is not geometry. Okay, the problem is your algebra. Okay, is there any question?